But also, we don't play enough against these top nations.
No, we don't.
For me, that is just like
And then you must watch out.
But if we send more, yeah. Also, if we send more players overseas. No, it's is it going to be a problem?
I think so, yeah. Excuse me, would you mind not having your camera on there? You got a long enough? Well, no, it's actually that I think if we have one on here, that people are going to start putting them on multiple, and then we're going to have cameras all over the show. Move it over here.
Will it work?
Thank you. There you go. Longer leg.
Good tendency.
No, this is not cool.
You're a real brand ambassador.
They also got a lot to win right now.
I don't know what to tell you.
No, I don't think I would. But also please, you're a pioneer, so basically let's say I might just need to have a full so I leave it and say,
Nick Berry was with the New Zealanders.
I'm supposed to be one, but you were in and on it.
because we had to see it. Oh. No, because even the guy who sings this song was singing it about a girl from No, you were too fast. No, no. From what you told me that I understood about you. So the stage was. That's how you build homes, David. Not these ones on the screen. No, don't do these until then. No.
What's this?
She does. Yeah, she reminds me of my aunt, my dad's younger sister. It's exactly the same.
But is
They
she a
almost
good
look
one?
alike.
We talking about your aunt?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, no, they were. French came up properly. It was a good game of rugby though.
Just put me your number so I can just send it to you.
Test 1 2 1 2 2 1 test 1 2. Testing.
Who's asking Jake the first question?
The first one and the second one.
Take this away from you.
Yes, the number 8. Just double check one. Just double check.
Yeah.
He was about 30 years old then.
Hij is niet meer daar niet. Hij was daar. Hij is niet meer daar niet. Waar is je vriend? Ja.
Went to UFC for a final in 2000.
My flip.
And maybe it's good.
Hello? Wat wil ik winnen? De photographer. Photographer. Hulle weet net nie dat jy eintlik die kamera skoon het. Ek dink ek gaan dit doodtrek daar met die tyd. Wat sê jy nou? Hoekom kan ek net een ding vra? Hoekom het julle nie van die daai opskrif gebruik wat rapport in 2006 gebruik het? Goodbye, Jake.
Because you guys had to scrap that, I remember. You all had the headlines.
No, I was still in
Rustenburg.
It wasn't me.
Rustenburg.
I said, Philip, it wasn't
The week Pretoria's kicked the penalty and they all slammed their laptops down and swore.
When the press release dropped, I said, Jake, Goodbye, Jake.
You're
I'm going to go out the way, yeah?
Hello. How's the gents?
Okay, good evening guys. Thank you so much for joining us, Rassie and Jesse. We've got 15 minutes, so let's do first 10 minutes English, last 5 minutes Afrikaans for Rassie. Happy, Mike?
Rassie, not a perfect performance, but is that the kind of game that you want, the kind of workout you want in this preparatory block?
No, it's frustrated. It was a very frustrating game, and it's when they leave a couple of the big names home, you expect this kind of, down in the gutters fight because these young guys who really doesn't have anything to lose. But we knew they would man up, and they certainly manned up in most departments: scrums, mauling, defense, attack. So no, it was a proper test match. When we were 28, 3 or whatever up, and we scored a try and there was obstruction, and then we lost some momentum, and so it was a frustrating performance, to be honest.
But a game you'd rather have now at this stage of the season?
Yes, not with that team we put out, because there's not a lot of guys there that's new to it. Krappies was new, here and there. Jan Hendrik was new. So I don't think we have too many excuses. So yeah, I'd rather have it now. You're right. And still, I don't know. I mean, was it a 15-point game, a 20-point game? I'm not sure. But certainly, it makes the selection for next week interesting, because they could have easily at the end come back into it if one or two of their tries were disallowed. So a bit of luck, and one of our tries also disallowed. But they performed really well, and we definitely tried to impose our way of playing on them, and they didn't allow it.
Rossi, part of that frustration must be the lineouts in the second half, especially that wasn't up to you guys' standards.
I think overall, I mean, and it's different guys who knock on a ball, and I mean, it's like if 5 different guys knock on a ball, I made one mistake, but it's 5 in total. If you miss a line-out jump here and there, or throw here and there, so it was just a hell of a lot of mistakes, and I would love to pinpoint what's the reason for that. Still glad that we won. I really couldn't pick up in the week that this is how we're going to perform, but maybe that's a sign that you must never think that you're all set in the game. But yes, it's luckily all fixable. But yes, frustrating.
Rossi, were you guys caught out a little bit by that sort of impressive rush defence that they put on you there? Sort of a defence that you guys are more known for, to smother other teams. But Italy did it quite well today.
They did. I don't know how many tries did we score?
6.
Yeah, so if you score 6 tries against the rush defence, you're doing pretty well. But I mean, we practice every day against the rush defence. So, but they certainly gutsy. The Minoncello, the 10 was brave, the 9 was brave, all 3 loose forwards was brave. I think half time they made almost 120 tackles, and you'll think then somewhere they'll give in. But then they turned up the heat in the second half. So, yes, the rush defence was something we expected. I think we could have scored a few more tries, but 6 is not too bad. But yeah, they defended well.
Rossi, normally when you send on your bomb squad, things change and the momentum shifts, and that didn't happen today. Did that also disappoint you, or did it surprise you?
Yeah, I think we sent that on because in the first 10 minutes of the second half it was like stop start, then a prop was down, and then the line out, then the try was disallowed, and then it was a wait a little bit, and just didn't feel they get intensity into the game in the second half. And being that stoppages, and I'm not saying they're doing that, we also had stoppages, and yeah, we tried to because the guys we put on apart from RG, was not really bigger guys than Wilco. Vincent is not bigger. Bongi and Malcolm is more or less the same size. Jan Hendrik, he's a youngster coming into them. He's not a. So we try to get the intensity and the speed up a little bit. Kwacha certainly made a little bit of a difference when he came on. So yeah, the frustrating part was not just not dominating, but also the game was stop start. It just didn't feel like we got any intensity into the second half, which was frustrating.
Rossi, just a word on the defence. You guys scrambled well, but conceding 4 tries in the second half must be frustrating.
Yeah, it is, and what they did really well with our ball was legally, not illegally, slowing it down and holding us up in the tackles a little bit, and we attacked from, I thought, from slow ruck ball, and then the tries that they scored were quick, and we never got to actually set, and they got real good momentum. And that was the frustrating part. They seemed to be able to switch on and off from a break of 3-4 minutes with the injury, and then they switched back straight on, which we didn't do. So yeah, I thought obviously that's worrying to concede 4 tries.
Rossi, we spoke obviously a little about the negatives now, but what do you take as positives out of the game?
I think that we I don't know how many changes that we made. The positive is we won. The positive is we scored 6 tries, even with a maul that didn't function, even with a breakdown that wasn't great on attack, even with a counter attack that wasn't awesome. We still scored 6 tries, and we have to understand what the Italian team was put out here. There was really an energetic, young bunch of guys, and we couldn't quite break them. I think there was a stage here, like 10 minutes into the second half, where if a try was allowed just after that, we could have actually stretched a little bit. But I guess, I don't know, 43, 45, how many points did we get? 42 points is not too bad, but I guess if it was 42-10 or something like that, but I thought everybody would expect us to beat them all proper. But we scored 6 tries, and I guess the good thing is we frustrated that we didn't score more. So I guess that's a positive for now.
Jesse, you called it on Friday when you said the rugby world was crazy to think it would be just a complete write-off for Italy. On the field itself, how did you find the game unfolding?
Yeah, I think like Rassi's mentioned, Italy they're extremely passionate nation, and I think they pitched up here tonight very energetic, and I think that showed in their play. We didn't get exactly what we wanted with all the quick ball on attack, and then in defence as well. I think yeah, obviously not happy with those 4 tries, but like Rassi said again, we got the win, and there's a lot of things for us to work on. I think we drive extremely high standards in the squad, so yeah, we'll get to PE and work on plans for next week. But yeah, definitely a lot for us to work on.
Coach, you mentioned that it might now inform what happened tonight, might inform next week. In which way is that going to inform the decision for the team next week?
Well, internally we've sort of 13, 14 guys that we said, listen, you'll definitely get next week a run. But then how we build the bench or starting lineup around those guys, because some of those 13 or 14 guys that we already announced for next week internally, some of them might move to the bench. Some of the real standout players that play today, we might give a start again. So we won't discard the guys who played there, just the makeup of the team, handling what Italy threw at us, because they threw a lot of physicality at us. I mean, normally teams, if you make 120 tackles in the first half, you'll think they break in the second half. So it's a team that's fit and passionate, and we'll have to make sure the team that we put next week on Port Elizabeth is not just a team that can go 50, 60 minutes. It must be a team that can go 80 minutes. So it will be the bulk of the guys that we nominated last week. It's just the other 9 guys that we must pick. Are we going to pick them in the starting lineup, off the bench, some stability there. But obviously guys like Sasha will be back and those kind of things. It's just now who will be the other 9, maybe playing with a guy like Kobus or with Grant back. So we'll just have to fine tune now, take stock of the injuries. I think just Damien Lender had a bit of a hamstring. Other than that, no real serious injuries, just a few bruised and eagers.
Coach, you had a very experienced team out there, but in the midst of all of that, there was a debutant in Vincent Chituka. How would you assess his first official cap as a Springbok? Do you see what you wanted to see? What are some of the things that you'd like to see they work on as he integrates into the Springbok?
I think you now know what Test rugby is like. He's played the game, he started the game. Again, I think he was very busy. I think, not that it's my place here to talk about players' individual things until we've chatted to them, but I think he certainly was not standing back if you compare to the rest of the Springbok team playing today. He was on the same physical level, but I don't think at all our physicality or our intensity was where it should be, and that includes Vincent. But not because we single him out, because I thought the whole team, but he's got a bright future and he's starting to get into the roles and understanding what we want to do. But those things, I'm not talking just about Vincent. All 8 must scrum, all 8 must maul, all 8 must contest in a line out, all 8 must work at a breakdown, and we didn't do that well today. But well, he's got a good future ahead of him. So yeah, I think he can be fairly happy with how he's gone so far.
Last English question.
Hi, Rassi. Over here.
Yes.
Congratulations on the win. You said in the week, and you've said this for years, you don't measure your success on the scoreline, you measure it in a lot more detail when you go through the review.
Yeah.
With that in mind, is it going to be a hard review this week?
Yeah, it's frustrating because it was really a blacker week. It was like we into it and things went well and it was nice and physical, and I think maybe that we as coaches sometimes make a mistake with that, and I don't want to sound philosophical if that's the right word, but you feel, we're ready for this game, but you need to drive it even more when it's going so well during the week. So no, it's not the players who made the mistake, it's us as coaches who also didn't press the right buttons, do the right things during the week. So we can't just point fingers of them, so we'll have to relook. And again, give Italy credit. Well, they manned up and they flipping buckled down and gave it to us, but we should have handled it much better. We'll start with our coaching staff to get that right.
Right, 3 or 4 Afrikaans questions?
Rassi, die Bokke is die wêreldkampioen, die nommer 1 op die wêreldrangslys. Dink jy die Afrikaanse vertoning is dalk 'n aanduiding dat hierdie jaar moeiliker gaan wees om vir die res te bly?
Ja, dink so. Ek dink dit gaan moeilik wees en as jy op Afrikaans nie. As ons kyk na die toetse wat ons moet speel, Italië is die eerste 2 games laas jaar in die Six Nations, Wallis hulle is net Frankryk wat hulle regtig gesmash het. Ek dink Ierland met 4 punte verloor of so. So hulle kan vasbyt. Hulle is regtig 'n span wat kan vasbyt. As jy net kyk vir Nieu-Seeland en wat daar met Frankryk, ek bedoel, hy is Frankryk se derde span en Nieu-Seeland het 'n 4-punt wen gehad. Dit was 29-28 tot aan die einde. So daar's klein verskilletjies en ons op 95% is en hulle hardloop op 110%. Dan is dit so games soos wat was die margin? 20 punte. 18 punte. Jy weet so ons 18 punte beter as 'n span wat sonder baie van hulle sterre gekom het. En dit so en ons het klomp van ons ervare manne gekies. Ek weet nie of hulle nog steeds first choice is nie, maar ervare manne gekies. So ja, ons daar jare voor lê.
Nog so 2 Afrikaanse praat?
As jy net baie momentum verloor by die breakdown, en jy het 2 van die beste baljagters gespeel vandag, is dit iets te bekommer na die Four Nations toe, veral met Australië en Nieu-Seeland wat spesialiseer op hulle breakdown?
Ja, kyk, as jy praat baljagters, dan sit meer in die defensive kant wat 'n ou baljagter is. So, ek dink in die attacking kant, mens mis definitief 'n ou soos Sia, wat hy is altyd 'n ou wat hy mag seker die afbreekpunte is skoon wanneer ons die bal besit het. En dis wat 'n ou soos Vincent, en wie dan altyd Pieter sê van die ander kant gehad, maar Vincent vind nog sy voete waar en wanneer is hy verantwoordelik om dinge reg te kry. Ek dink Marco is hulle die game stadig en mooi gaan kyk. Marco sit 'n halse klomp werk in by die afbreekpunt wat min mense sien. Regtig fisies. Ek dink wat hulle baie goed gedoen het op ons balle is, hulle het al 5-6 ouens hard gebyt by die breakdown. Hulle was nie altyd nommers op hulle voete met defensie, maar hulle het hard gebyt. So ons het of 'n stadige breakdown bal gekry, of hom verloor, of hulle is bietjie afgecoach van die breakdown. Nie dat ek sê die skeieregter het verkeerd gedoen nie, hulle was baie clever daar gewees. So ja, ons breakdown was 'n issue vandag gewees.
JT, laaste een?
Grasie, ek wil sommer net vir iets vra, nie oor die wedstryd nie, maar daar's nou baie gesê daar uit die noorde uit oor 2021 se Britse en Ierse leeu's. Ek sien jy het ook iets op Twitter gesit daaroor. Die enige kommentaar op Warren Gatland se aantuiging.
Ja, ek dink dis mense elke storie wat daar buite is, gaan vertel oor moontlike Kammersdag goed wat gebeur en dan gaan daar, en dis ook eintlik maar wil hê moet hier vandag stop, want ek wil maar net 'n voorbeeld gebruik. Daar is soveel goed wat mense elke keer hoor van elke oefening wat en ek wil hê die mense moet die idee kry en dis die tipe goed wat agter die skerms aangaan. Ek bedoel daar is soveel snaakse stories van afrigters wat al ander afrigters probeer uitvang het en dis nie 'n nasty ding wat 'n mens so in die koerant te gooi op hoor sê nie, want dit creëer net ongemaklikheid en alles so. Ja, ek sal graag wil hê dit moet nou stop, dis nie meer oor praat nie, ek sal dit so verkies.
Thank you very much, guys. We're bringing Kwagga and Krappies in for mix zone in a couple of minutes, and that will be 10 minutes. No videographer stuff, all right?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sina. So you're actually coming now?
Yeah, they're coming in now. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
So what do you what?
Are there no videos there? Huh? Take better.
Oops.
Low back. This one, I think, yeah, he put it in the middle. That's why I'm keeping because he looks like mine.
Yeah, but it's fine because mine I put it more on the...
This one?
I put it more on what was
Yeah, so it's fine.
Like
Drop it. Happiness. Oh.
Whatever we've done here, we apologize. What have we done? Really dropped it.
Good enough. Better. Must. Higher. What have we done, man? We apologize. Oh. Way. I wish
I've taken a very big sabbatical. No, it was since I told you I left bedside at least. I told you that I left bedside at least. I left fighting for my life. So
mental health problems.
Yeah, it's that one where you just like ha.
No, mfonele. Obviously that was us. It's a 10 times you last see.
Yeah, but no, not out. Yeah, tools. Thrown in the towel. Thrown in the towel. It will take a very big fighter to pull me out of this.
That's me. That's
If you see me back in the game, just know that I'm saying that very big contract. It has to be a Saudi contract. It'll take a Saudi house.
And I'm not coming out of retirement. I won't be those players that retire then decide coming out of retirement.
Even many packers do the same thing. But it was back in the room.
And they come in here. Can I bring in our first for mix on here?
Why are the tickets so close?
He didn't even bring his laptop. What is he doing here?
What is he doing here?
Movie, man.
Security, please.
It's not worth it.
I thought Jake was removed. Jake was removed yesterday.
Thank you. No, now I will find it. I'm young enough.
But like you said, you need that big fight.
Yeah, I do. I need a huge contract.
Where are you going to do that?
No,
Oh, you look at that. Because you're very
No, also no one from Zodi Scouts.
There we go. How's that?
This is mettili qua, esatto. Sì, perfetto.
Yes, please. Who is the first one?
Gonzalo, you must be quite happy, not with the scoreline, but with the performance of your players tonight.
Yeah, definitely. No one is ever happy after defeat, of course, but I'm really proud of the team today, and I have a huge amount of reasons to be proud of them. It was a really tough week for the team with a lot of injuries, a lot of changes, and a lot of things that we couldn't control, that didn't went our way, especially at the beginning of the week. But the team never lost focus. We did the second part of the week, Thursday, Friday, and this morning. The build-up for the game was really good. And first half, I think we did some mistakes because maybe we struggled to with so many guys that have less experience to apprehend playing the Springboks and this Springboks squad at home. I think in the second we released a bit that pressure and was better. So yeah, a lot of things to say about the game, but I'm really proud of the team.
Yes, please.
What was the talk at half time? 28-3 down, and especially after they went over very early in the second half, could have run away from you guys. So what was the talk to, sort of turn that around and score 3 tries in that second half to fight back?
Yeah, we just did a good, I think, feedback and analysis of the first half on the fact that the possession was all theirs, but there was two set-piece tries from them, individual mistakes that come from, I think, a bit of stress, a bit of bad handling of the situation. To be honest, I don't think the first try of Jesse is in front of the kicker, so it's not a try either. So I think that score was too big, and especially with the ball, I felt we were like a bit not believing enough on ourselves, and not trying enough, and not respecting a bit just the things we prepared. So we tried to create a bit more belief on the guys, just make them aware that we could do much better, that we could hold that intensity, and that we have to put a bit more discipline in our defense, because we gave a little bit of easy penalties that brought them into our 22, and that's where we insisted on the discipline on defense, give the good defense, the good pressure we were putting on them, but not giving so many easy penalties to keep them away of our 22. And then we talk a lot about the attack, about trying a bit more, and we explained where the opportunities could be. So a lot of the merit comes to the captain and the leaders, because the way they talked, they prepared the game, and they handled the second half was really incredible. And I think we had our grenade squad that did really well, and I think the bench, our bench, also the team that started second half did well, and the bench did all of them brought something in, even if there was for some of them the first game ever for the national team. So I think the key thing was discipline and believing a little bit more in ourselves.
With the grenade squad, maybe a question regarding that. You scored a
driving ball try from the 22 of the Springboks. I don't think there's ever been from that distance out to try against the Boks in that manner. Were you surprised how easy you did it, or was it planned in the week?
No, I would love to look super, yes, we planned this exact move. But Nico will start laughing.
Surprised that's how
No,
easy it
no,
was?
a lot of things. Honestly, we didn't prepare a lot of things around the mall, because when you analyze the Springboks, of course, you know that the driving malls is one of their strengths. And especially that line out, that mall comes when we put into the pitch for that line out, the hooker playing his first game for Italy, and the line out caller, the number 5, Matteo Canali, for the first time for Italy. I did the call, and Andrea Moretti, the forwards coach, almost killed me because he said, wait after the line out. I said, let's give it a shot. So no, I think it's all the merit for the players. They did a good call, they organized themselves, they work really well on the week. So I think, not on the week, always. So I think it was not a plan. We had our driving malls. I think they executed really well, and I'm happy that we didn't receive a try from mall. That was something that we were really expecting that could happen, and we could score one, but it was the story of today's, and I'm happy, but I know it will be really different next week.
Nico, you guys attacked the Springbok line out a lot in that second half and got quite a lot of success from that. Was that part of the plan? And just also talk a bit about your try, scoring at Loftus.
Yeah, I'm very happy about my try, but obviously when you lose this type of game, you are not happy, because we prepare the game differently. But I'm proud of my my teammates, because in Italy we say we have a big heart, so we are proud of our character, and for the line out we are happy. We prepare a lot to contest in the air. But I think next game it will be a different story.
Nicola, you've spoken of your disappointment, obviously, of losing, but the Springboks are known as one of the most physical sides around, and they were here before you, and they felt that they didn't actually manage to get enough of a physical edge over you guys. So for you and your pack, that must be a real feather in your caps. You must be very pleased with that.
No, of course we are happy about our physicality, especially in the first half. But we prepare the game differently. We want to attack more, and we have to work on this point for the next week. But obviously we are happy for our defense.
Yes, please.
Coach, you guys also had some great turnovers. Was that something that you marked during the week as a place that you could attack the box?
No, we know that we needed to take all the space and time we could from the team. We know that it was like basically the first test of the year. So with a bit of luck, we knew that if we we take a bit of space and time from them, maybe they're not still as fluid as they can be. If you look at our stats, we are a team that normally has less possession than the opposition, so we are more used to defend. And we have a really excellent jackals in the team, so it's part of the things we work against anyone we play, and we have some rules and principles that allow us to recover some balls and to stop attacks too. But I think it was easy for us with the defense coach and the coaching staff plan a type of defense and try to stop all those carries and how much they can hurt. But then the execution and the heart and the shoulders and the bodies is the player's job. So that's the main thing where I'm so proud, because they were coming hard. I know maybe, as you say, maybe they were a bit frustrated, but they were coming hard and they hard and they are good. and we could feel it now in the dressing room. The guys were marked by the game, but I think it was a lot of effort. It was a lot of commitment, and we talk a lot about that today. We had 17 usual starting players that were not here. A lot of guys had 388 tests against 1,204 tests in front, and it was so important to be brave and confident on each other to commit to a big game in defense. So that's the main reason I'm so proud of the team.
Okay, thanks. We can start with the part in Italian. Thank you so much to everybody.
Afrikaners, goedemiddag, goeienacht, lekker game, lekker braai.
Prego Alessandro. Non vi ho avvisato, ma siamo entrati in corsa, quindi abbiamo iniziato in inglese. Prego Alessandro e poi Christian. Lo dico io.
Sento.
Ok.
Senza il microfono.
Quelli che sono entrati come dei treni. Odiaka ha fatto una carica che sembrava un veterano ed erano gli Springboks, quelli non era una squadretta. E quindi poi volevo chiedere a Niccolò quella tua emozione incredibile fino quasi alle lacrime all'inizio agli nazionali e poi come ha sentito il gruppo lui in campo, che cosa ha trasmesso, oltre che con l'esempio perché hai fatto una grande partita, ma che cosa hai trasmesso ai tuoi compagni, come li hai visti anche i più giovani?
Vado io, Gonzalo?
Inizia a te,
Okay.
era
No, io sicuramente è stato un momento emozionante per me, è una cosa che riporterò per tutta la mia vita. Le lacrime per me ci sono sempre perché io sono molto emotivo, molto passionale, per me è la cosa più bella del mondo e lo devo dire grazie allo staff per l'opportunità e alla mia famiglia e che io gioco sempre per loro, quindi ciò che ho voluto dire ai ragazzi è di guardarsi dentro e il discorso che ho fatto per la partita è di dedicare questa partita a qualcuno di speciale che li accompagni per tutta la partita, perché in questi momenti per me personalmente era un sogno poter giocare qua, giocare in questo stadio. Quando ero bambino mi ricordo vedevo le partite del Sudafrica, cantavo il loro inno, vedere l'aereo che passava sopra lo stadio e poter farlo da capitano è stato un qualcosa di incredibile, quindi io sono e sarò sempre fiero della mia squadra. Poi ovviamente possiamo migliorare tante cose in vista della prossima partita.
Io inizio la risposta con un poco rispondendo alle tue domande e anche quella che hai fatto a Nico. Credo che oggi siamo davvero fieri della partita. Mi hai fatto una domanda quando abbiamo parlato della squadra prima ieri della squadra e della preparazione, se era pazzo, non ricordo l'altra, ma credo che una delle grandi ragioni per le quali la squadra ha fatto questa partita è perché Niccolò è stato il capitano. Da giovedì in poi, quando abbiamo avuto il duro momento di perdere Giacomo Nicotera, che è stato davvero il momento che la squadra ha dovuto capire, o quello che ho detto alla squadra è che adesso non aveva più nessun dubbio di tutto quello che è arrivato, 7 infortuni in 2 settimane, tanti cambi, tanti problemi che abbiamo avuto anche di logistica. Era una vera prova per la squadra, un test di carattere, un test di comportamento, una prova di vedere come la reazione davanti all'avversità, e non ho avuto dubbio di cambiare il ruolo di Nico, che era quello di vice capitano a capitano, e la reazione della squadra, anche Mulo Nicotera come accompagnato è stato davvero molto bello a vedere, e anche la consegna mali di ieri, l'allenamento di giovedì e come ha parlato prima della partita Niccolò è stato molto importante per la squadra.
Prego Christian. C'era prima Christian e poi lascio te.
Grazie. No, volevo sapere in percentuale sei più arrabbiato o più soddisfatto
No, in percentuale sono 100% fiero. Se hago 100% fiero non c'è spazio per niente di altro, quindi farò 90% fiero, 5% soddisfatto e mi manca questo 5% soprattutto nel primo tempo, che sento che l'abbiamo rispettato logicamente, ma è troppo. E credo che aveva spazio per fare un po' meglio nel primo tempo, ma perché abbiamo